mind over Elden Ring. For a month straight, I had my ass whooped, crushed, kissed, hugged and kicked off of a goddamn bridge that leads to nowhere. And after all of these dog encounters, I couldn't help but think, where the hell did all my gaming experience from 10 years ago playing Mario go? See, things are easy to understand when they are a copy of a copy of a copy inspired by real events made friendly enough to sell to Timmy from 5th grade. Meanwhile, this is original and this had me thinking, does content always need to be original in order to get categorized as great? Well, for that, let's watch some clips. Kalki is a movie made in India based on Hindu mythology, having set pieces common to Mad Max and Doom, but inverted, set in post-apocalyptic future where water is gold and the war is to protect a child capable of turning the world upside down with meta-humans. But then what if I said that the story of Kalki cannot be copied from other creations because the story itself comes from Hindu scriptures and books that existed way before the people were removing U-turn signs from roads because they are homophobic. Interesting, right? The first part. But then the books came before the movie. So is the movie a copy or an inspiration? It is a depicted adaptation. Classic novels like The Great Gatsby and Pride and Prejudice got adapted into movies, and movies turned out to be great and amazing to watch, even rewatch. But then imagine a movie inspired by the novel The Great Gatsby, but the movie is animated involving Shrek from the game God of War. Remember? Well, in that case, we still can have a great movie based off of who adapted it and how much respect was paid to the source material, which Netflix could never. And that still does not answer the question. Does originality even matter or nah? Parasite, a movie so insane in terms of creativity that people were stuck imagining how this movie was imagined by the creator in the first place. Inception, Get Out and more. All of these movies are big time hits, not because of how great the movies were, but because how dumb the audience felt after watching them, even after third and fourth watches. Now, there are multiple ways of making audience feel dumb and flabbergasted. Like making a second part of the movie that sucked ass in the first installment and making it so hollow that somehow it conveys even less information compared to its first failed ancestor, Rebel Moon. I'm talking about Rebel Moon. It's like a demo for Unreal Engine's cinematic capabilities. It feels like it. Now, why am I yapping about Kalki? Well, its trailer was released in Comic-Con, and it's gonna be a worldwide release. So it's a major topic of discussion coming from India. But for a second, let's talk about scope of originality in Kalki. Here's an interview discussing inspiration and creative process behind Kalki. It's been a long, shameful wait. Let's haul ass. Yeah, there was now not me, but religious fanatics in India won't allow Kalki to go off route into the woke domain for a second even, because the streets burn, and I cannot mention any names of the groups because houses burn too in game. So it will have to be a major copy of the source material, losing again its originality in terms of, well, the origin, but it will still remain and will have to be original in terms of its execution, because even religious scriptures and books, ancient books, does not mention how this time cycle or yug will end. No info about war, no info about collapse, no info about transition from dystopia to utopia, and no info about how the fuck did she clear the auditions for this role. So all of these scenes will have to come out of insane imagination and hundreds of sleepless nights or a pinch of coke. Now, these are the instances where originality was a bit silent and even was completely ignored in certain instances, but it's fine. What about remakes? What in the hell is this? Remakes mostly have no originality at all. They mostly suck ass even. And the remakes that don't suck ass are the ones that are made by studios that don't focus on remaking at all. They just alter the UI, and some still fail at that. Even Psycho 1960 was remade in 1998, shot by shot remade. It's a re-release, you dumbass. It's not a remake, it's a fucking movie, not a game. That's not how you do it. This is exactly where remakes fail. You can't just upscale shit and call it a remake, even though I just said that's what you should be doing. I don't know exactly how to make a remake, but Dark Souls 3 can be a great example where it was a remake of Dark Souls 1 but better. Dark Souls 2 still suck ass. I'm playing it offline. And in cinematic creations, The Departed, inspired by Infernal Affairs. These copies or heavy inspirations lack originality completely, but they still have a major fan base, the remakes, because they are not graphical enhancement but a fresh new take on the original beloved story. Now let's talk about hot but trash Transmorphers. You could have named it Metal Apes and that still would have been fine, right? And there are 3 parts of it. It's like with each part, instead of dying of shame in game, the director gained even more confidence. Transmorphers, and then it's Transmorphers Fall of Man. It's a single man that fell from a balcony, maybe? I didn't watch it. It's Tom Arnold Transmorphers Mech Beasts. This came out in 2023.
Total convergence.
We had snakes on a train. Fuck it. Imagine snakes on a plane. What's next? Snakes in a car? We had 100 shark type movies, 100 snake type movies. We even had 100 dog type movies. So here is my conclusion to originality. It's the same question as what came first, egg or the chicken? Well, it does not matter because they're both tasty when cooked by a proper good chef. Kalki may look inspired by 100 movies. By the way, all of those 100 movies are inspired by each other. No one knows the origin. It will forever remain incomplete if no original content is appended to the original mythical storyline. Plus, if a movie or a product was intentionally about improving what already existed for preserving or maybe enhancing what people already love, originality won't matter. There are how many parts of Sharknado?